lovers, and that is, of course, Dawoods mega stores. Just a little bit about the show in case you missed it. We air on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 2:30, and we speak to chefs that are on a trajectory to the stars. It's an exciting show as these influential chefs give us tips and tricks to maximize our suhoor and our iftar with products, of course, that are easily available from Dawoods mega stores. These are ideas that will have our bellies smiling and our pockets breathing a sigh of relief because you know what, life can be difficult. And Dawoods mega stores are committed to not just the high quality but the high value without high prices. Now, after Monday's show, I got a few messages that came in to me and said, now, Bobby, why are you doing this show on Dawood's Ramadan table? Aren't you like a life empowerment specialist and you're a social worker and you're a holistic healer? What's with the cooking? What's with it? And, you know, here's the thing is, yes, I am all of those things, but I'm also a loyal patron of Dawood's mega stores and in my personal capacity. And I'll tell you why. Because every time I walk into Dawood's mega stores, there is something new. There is something creative. There is some new special, some quality goods that I always find, oh, that's new. And of course, as you know, or if you heard the show on Monday, you'll know, I absolutely love the biltong. Yes, I do. If you haven't tried it, you're missing out. Please go ahead and try it. So yes, this is why. And when I heard that there was this show that was going to be on for Ramadan, and I thought, what a brilliant idea. One of the things I noticed about Dawood's meats, for instance, whether it's their chicken or whether it's their meat, and you can take this to the bank, you can test it yourselves. Go out there, go and get some meat, go and get some chicken, and then go and get some meat or some chicken from another store. Cook the two up. And here's what I've found. The meat, the chicken from Dawood's mega stores does not shrink into next to nothing. It doesn't. It really is value for money. And so, given all of these things, this week I said to our head of content here at Radio Al Ansar, I said, Muhammad Ayaz Kareem, please, brother, can you find out from the horse's mouth what specials are there that we can share with our community out there? Because I know that Dawood's mega stores always have something special in store for us. And here's what I found. Eggs. Now, what do you pay for extra large eggs nowadays? 30 eggs nowadays. You're going to expect to pay what? 114 Rand, 90 Rand, 80 Rand, 70 Rand if you're extremely lucky. But guess what? Dawoods has extra large eggs. 30 extra large eggs for 54 Rand 99. You heard me right. Puff pastry, 3 kilograms is 84.99. Your UHT milk, Creamlight brand, is 74.99 for a pack of 6. Your assorted samosas, 54.99. A whole grilled chicken. Now, iftar is served, folks, with this one, because your whole grilled chicken plus 6 rolls plus chips, 99 Rand 99. Like I say, Dawood's Megastore. Iftar is served. Now, today we have a very special guest. She is a superstar chef, in my opinion. And if you don't know her, you need to look her up. Her name is Zakia Manju. Now, Zakia is a digital and affiliate marketer. She's an entrepreneur. She's a wife. She's the mum to a teenager who loves to create and to experiment with new as well as traditional recipes. And Zakia has a growing following on the socials. And on those socials, she's amassed over 50,000 subscribers, folks, across YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. She shares new posts every week. And you can check her out. Her social handle is Culinary Vlogs by Z. And Z is not Z-E-E, it's just the letter Z. Culinary Vlogs. Let me get that right. By Z. But guess what? She actually does this added value. Every single year, this sister actually creates a recipe book for every year that she is on YouTube. How's that for you? Now, don't you want someone like that giving you a little bit of creativity this Ramadan when honestly our attention is so focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. It is so focused on, ping, 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 getting those points on the other side for our akhirah, inshallah, washing away our sins, inshallah, that sometimes the creativity takes a back seat, the inspiration takes a back seat, and no matter how much you've prepared, it gets a bit rough. So Sister Zakia Manju is here to help us, to inspire us. And I want to welcome her to Radio Al Ansar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Zakia, and welcome to Radio Al Ansar.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Rabia, and Ramadan Mubarak to you and the listeners. Thank you for having me here today.
Ramadan Mubarak to you, Zakia. Folks, if you'd like to see the wonderful sister and join us on Facebook and YouTube, please go ahead and join us. It's Radio Al Ansar, as you know, is our handle. Now, Zakia, I was having a look at your YouTube channel earlier. I love to know the people that I'm speaking to a little bit more before I chat to them. And I love what you do. And so tell me a little bit about your journey. What inspired you to start sharing that culinary journey that you're going through in life with others on socials?
So I usually love entertaining friends and family. It's actually a hobby of mine. It's actually turned into a fundraising initiative as well. And so it's in the inspiration I get is actually from my family. My husband and my son, they are actually both my biggest critics.
Ooh.
And obviously, I've learned a lot from my mum. She's quite a good cook. And yeah, so we learn from our elders and we share the recipes.
I mean, isn't it wonderful, you know, when you have some food that you've made and it just tastes like something your granny made or your mom made. It tastes like home, doesn't it? Do you find yourself including kind of a traditional flavor into the foods that you make? Or is it pure innovation?
I do. It's actually, it's wonderful to be sharing those old recipes because in those days they used simple ingredients, yet they formulated these magnificent dishes. And to them, it was more about quality. And they used the best products. So it was simple ingredients, good food. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, you're talking about quality. I was just saying before you came on the show that truly, you know, Dawoods Megastore, when I go in there, it really is the quality of the foods, right? And initially, when I would think of Dawoods, I would think, okay, Dawoods equals chicken, but not so. There's chicken, there's beef, there's lamb, there's all different kinds of cuts of these things, and then there's all the fresh produce. Now, today I know that you've got a very special recipe that you want to spotlight for us. What is it? Tell us.
So it's actually a Moroccan lamb tagine, and you don't really need the tagine to cook this in. And it's also paired with a bulgur wheat salad. So it's like the perfect meal for Ramadan because it's like your protein, your bulgur wheat's actually low in fat and high in fiber. So it's like the completely balanced meal that you can have during Ramadan.
Wow. Now, I never ever would have thought to pair a tagine with a bulgur wheat salad. That is interesting. And yes, of course, it is going to give you that little bit of carbohydrates, healthy carbohydrates together with the proteins, which is exactly what we need. Now, what makes this a good choice, besides the fact that it's well balanced?
Well, it's a good choice because we all love experimenting in the kitchen. We like trying new things. So if you love trying new things, then you have to try this recipe.
And not too complicated.
Not too complicated. It's actually quite similar to our Indian mutton curry and rice. Just the Moroccan twist is that their spices are different. So yeah, it's actually it's very easy to make, very simple to make, and it's truly going to be enjoyed by everyone.
Well, why don't you give us some tips on it then? Take us through your process. What do you do when you're making this recipe?
Okay, so you can get the full recipe on my YouTube channel. There's a blog I've actually pasted on Instagram as well. So the entire recipe will be there. I think taking you through that entire recipe is going to take forever.
Oh, yes.
But it's just basically like I said, the mutton curry. You braise your onions, you add in the meat, you add in the spices, and this dish actually has a lovely garnish which adds to the flavor. It's braising your dry fruits, so it has like raisins, figs, apricots, all braised in butter and added to this dish. So that just adds to the flavor of it.
That is definitely going to add a depth of flavor to that, almost a sweetness. I could imagine the
Yeah,
contrast of that sweetness with the spiciness. Is it very
correct.
spicy? Could you make it more spicy for those who love the heat?
So it's not very spicy.
Okay.
It's full of flavor, but not spicy. And yes, you can add in extra spices if you want. Maybe just add in extra black pepper, so you'd make it suitable or to your palate.
Okay. Okay. Now, lamb, you making it with lamb or mutton?
Yes, with lamb.
Lamb. Okay. Moroccan lamb tagine. There it is. Moroccan lamb tagine. Now, lamb is a staple in many of the traditional dishes. What do you love most about working with lamb?
So lamb is actually quite tender, and it's
Hmm.
actually succulent. It's got fat on it, so it's actually more juicy. And lamb, I actually love to use in halim in Ramadan. So if you're going to be using it in Ramadan, particularly use it in your halim because it just adds that extra juiciness and flavor to it.
It does have a depth of flavor. Now, if you're trying to balance those bold flavors in your
Yeah.
traditional dishes, how do you go about that?
Um, you mean the lamb?
Well, in any of your dishes, in this lamb, I know that you've mentioned you're balancing the fruit, you've got the spice, there's a nice balance there. And
Yeah.
then, of course, you've got the rice, you've got the bulgur wheat. But generally, when it comes to your cooking, how do you balance those bold flavors? Because traditional cooking
So
can be very bold.
so in my recipes, I actually love fusion cooking. It actually helps enhance flavor. It's for example, if you try to make a butter chicken pasta, that's like combining Indian food with Italian food, and you can also try kind of like a chicken tikka lasagna. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like more about fusion cooking in my recipes, and yeah, that's how I actually balance um, traditional cooking with modern cooking.
Hmm. Hmm. And then when it comes to elaborate recipes, I don't know how elaborate this tagine recipe is, but you have sent us the recipe and you will
Yeah.
share with us that link that we can put onto our socials as well
Yes.
to the recipe that you've made, right? But what are like maybe some time saving tips? Because these can be quite elaborate dishes, no?
Okay. So what I usually like to do is when I purchase my meats, I actually so it's like marinating everything at once. So
Right.
it's like 4 kgs of chicken. You marinate with different flavors. So a butter chicken, say a chicken tikka or whatever you like. The lamb, probably like a biryani mix or like an akni. So you marinate it with your spices and you freeze it. So the day that you're preparing to cook those, you just remove it from the freezer, you thaw them, and then you're ready to cook. So it's easy peasy, time saving, and yeah, it actually helps really with cooking, like when you have little time in the kitchen to cook.
Hmm. Now, today's episode, as you know, is brought to us by Dawoods Megastores. And how do you incorporate their products into your cooking?
So I usually like buying fresh meats.
Hmm.
So you can do a lot with fresh meats, and so buying fresh meats from Dawoods is actually it's quite convenient because you actually order your specially cut meats like your leg of lambs for your mutton curries, your shoulder for your biryanis, and they make it really convenient for you to purchase all these meats from them. Even the chicken, there's like chicken fillets, your drumstick and thighs. So it's like very convenient to purchase.
Yeah, I do find there's a massive diversity in terms of the chicken, from the crumb chickens to the sliced chickens to the
Right.
whole chicken to the flatties. So you really are spoiled for choice. And I suppose that also
Correct.
helps to save times, right? Now, any tips for our listeners in terms of creating a special meal without spending a fortune?
Okay. So use fresh meats always.
Hmm.
And also, when it comes to not spending a fortune, you can always recreate your leftovers. So it's like,
Yeah.
say, if you have chicken curry made on one day and you have half of it left over, put it into a pie, make it into a lovely curry chicken pie. And that way you've got 2 meals in one. not spending, overspending, and that's how you could just create maybe another special meal.
I love that. You've got your chicken, get some potatoes, get some vegetables, which Dawood Megastore also has, and throw them in there and make yourself a lovely pie. Well, you know what? I'm really looking forward to another exciting dish with you the next time we speak with you. We do need to give out a competition. So I'm going to say to you, Jazakallah so much for being with us on the show this afternoon on Dawood's Ramadan Table. And we are going to see you again very, very soon for another edition. And everybody, if you could give us your handle once again so folks can go out there and have a look at your recipes on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok.
Okay, so you can find me on at Culinary Vlogs by Z. Sounds like a complicated name, but it's at CULINARYVLOGS BYZ, and not Z as in ZEE.
Yeah. All culinary vlogs.
Thank you so much, Rabia, for having me on your show, and I look forward to sharing another exciting recipe with the listeners next week, inshallah.
Inshallah, and I'm going to go and have a look at those cookbooks that you've launched once a year for your YouTube. Jazakallah Zakia Manju for being with us today. So folks, that was Zakia Manju. She is an upcoming chef. You can find her on all of the socials, but it's competition time. It's competition time for Dawood's Megastores. And if you are wanting to win that 200 Rand voucher for Dawood's Megastores, then you're going to need to phone in. This is a phone-in competition, and you're going to need to answer 2 questions. I'm going to give you the number. I'm going to give you the 2 questions, and you're going to need to phone us in your answers. The number first of all is 060-904-1056. It is a WhatsApp call. You can call us on WhatsApp, so it's not going to cost you much, and you can go ahead and answer these 2 questions that we have for you. So we do have some callers coming in. Here are the questions. Name 2 ingredients in today's side dish recipe. Actually, let's make it easy. Name 2 ingredients in today's recipe suggestion. That would be very easy to do. 2 ingredients in today's recipe suggestion from Zakia. And then question number 2, name one of Dawood's specials mentioned earlier in the show. That is for a 200 Rand gift voucher and from Dawood's Megastores. So do we have any callers on the line? Okay, nobody as yet. Right, those folks who've called in, please go ahead and try us again. The number to dial is 060-904-1056. Our tech Ted is standing on call waiting for you. Name 2 ingredients in today's recommended recipe. The recommended recipe was Moroccan lamb tagine and bulgur wheat salad. So name 2 ingredients in there. And then name one of Dawood's specials that we mentioned earlier in the show. Okay, we have a call that came in. We're going to try to get a hold of the sister once again. The call did seem to drop, and we're trying to get you on the line, Sister Fatima Bibi Morris. Let's try you again and see if you are our winner. Okay, the questions once again. 2 ingredients in today's recommended recipe, and then one of Dawood's specials mentioned in the show. We seem to be having a little bit of a technical issue. So, Ted, our sound engineer, is there a number, perhaps a different number that they could dial in? No, not at the moment. This is it, folks, 060-904-1056. So you still have a chance to win that 200 Rand gift voucher from Dawood's Megastore. And of course, you can go in and you can buy your lamb, you can buy your beef, you can buy your chicken, all sorts of different cuts, crumbed and otherwise. You can buy your vegetables. So we have Sister Ruxana. Do we have Ruxana? Sister Ruxana on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Ruxana. How are you? There's our sound again. We do have her on the line. We have Sister Fatima Bibi Morris back on the line. Yes, today's very well competed. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Fatima. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. So you have the answer for our questions, inshallah. But first, I want to wish you a very Mubarak Ramadan. I hope that this is a month filled with peace and filled with warmth and filled with beautiful, beautiful answers to all your du'as, inshallah. Ameen. So,
See you as well.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. So the first question was, name any two ingredients in today's suggested recipe.
It was peaches,
Yes.
figs, lamb.
Wow. You've given us 3. Fantastic. You were listening. Subhanallah. And then name one of Dawoods' specials that were mentioned on the show. That's our question number 2. Oh, have we lost her? Oh, Sister Fatima has fallen off the earth. No, her phone call, that is, has fallen off the earth. So, folks, while we wait for Sister Fatima Bibi Morris, I'm going to just remind you, Dawoods Mega Stores is available around the country, and you can go in there and buy not just your fresh meats, not just your fresh chickens, but your frozen meats as well. And my personal favorite, of course, is their varieties of biltong. You know, before I came to Islam, I used to love biltong. And then when I came to Islam, I found that a lot of the biltong has kind of just a different flavor. And Dawoods biltong just hits the spot for me. They have the most beautiful traditional biltong, completely halal. They have chicken biltong. So those are my favorites. Honestly, they're biltong. They have nuts. They have beautiful ghee, all of these things. So do we have Sister Fatima Bibi Morris back on the line? No, we don't. We've had a few other callers came in. Sister Ruxana has tried again. But unfortunately, we'll take one more call. Hey, one more call. If you would like to win the 200 Rand gift voucher, you literally just need to answer the second question, because the first has already been done. The first question was to name any two ingredients in the call. And here we have Sister Amara Balua. Sister Amara Balua. Assalamu alaikum, sister. How are you? Oh, can we hear her? Folks, let's try this again. Oi, 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 Ramadan. I think our machines are on fast as well. Subhanallah. Our machines are on fast. We have somebody else. No, okay, there's another call that came in over there. Let's try that caller. There is another sister that tried to call in. You're welcome to try again. That is Sister Shahid Mia. We're going to try to call you back as well. Have anyone else noticed that there seems to be an issue with technology in general in South Africa of late? So we have got Shahid Mia on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you, brother? Ramadan Mubarak. Do you have the second answer for us quickly as we close our show?
Extra large eggs.
Yes.
54.99.
For how much?
54.99.
Yes, that's right. Extra large eggs for 54.99. Awesome. And you then are the winner of today's 200 Rand gift voucher from Dawoods Mega Store, your Mecca for all foodies and food lovers. So, folks, that has been Dawoods Ramadan Table edition for today. Look out for it once again on Friday with our dear brother and a voice you all know and love, which is Zahir Bassa, who will be hosting the Dawoods. And there he is, waving at me from behind the glass windows. Subhanallah. Hosting that for you on Fridays. And I will see you once again for another special edition by this wonderful organization. You know what? We should support one another. And why not support an organization that is out there making life easy for us moms in the kitchen, providing us with fresh and tasty foods? That is, of course, Dawoods Megastore. They are everywhere. And with Dawoods Megastore, iftar is on the table. We'll see you on Monday from Teddy here, Brother Ted in studio, and the Al Ansar team, Radio Al Ansar team. We say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Krugerrands are a timeless investment. Every day, thousands trust Issa Bullion to buy, store, and sell them effortlessly. With 16 years of global expertise, we make gold trading simple. Trade 24/5 from anywhere on our user-friendly platform, a first for South Africa. Each Krugerrand is fully insured and stored in high-security vaults. Enjoy competitive pricing and guaranteed buyback. Issa Bullion, built on trust, driven by expertise, focused on your future. Visit isabullion.co.za today. Radio Ansar.
This new segment is brought to you by KFC Oakport and Chatsworth stores. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Oh, happy day.
Eid Milan 2025 just got bigger. We're bringing you top brands and exclusive deals for the ultimate Eid shopping experience. From fashion to home decor, gifts and gourmet delights. Everything you need is under one roof at Saxony Westwood Mall, 20th to the 23rd of March. Don't miss out on shopping with the biggest names in the industry. See you there.
A day for friends and family.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al Ansar News.
The news from Durban 90.4 FM, Pietermaritzburg 105.6 FM. KwaZulu-Natal mother and daughter-in-law sought after following 6 million rand scam American money now. The KwaZulu-Natal Hawks are seeking help in tracking down an elderly mother and a daughter-in-law wanted in a 6 million rand scam case. Elderet van Wyk and Maria Elizabeth van Wyk were found guilty of fraud after the court heard how they fraudulently submitted way bills to a Pinetown company called the BMG over 7 years. The women, aged 81 and 50, were both employed by the logistics company when they committed the crime between 2005 and 2012. KwaZulu-Natal Hawk spokesperson Sibungane says the duo were last seen in Uppington in the Northern Cape. In 2019, Durban Specialized Commercial Crimes Court ordered the duo to repay the BMG company the amount of 6 million rands that they had fraudulently obtained. However, the duo failed to adhere to the court's order, resulting in a warrant being issued for their arrest. More news. ArcelorMittal South Africa is expected to begin closing down its long steel business this week. At least 3,500 jobs are expected to cut nationally, 2,000 of them in Newcastle alone. Now, with thousands of jobs on the line, the ripple effects will devastate many more livelihoods. Newcastle businessman Marius Pretoria says there is uncertainty about the future.
The biggest thing is with them closing down is we will not have that income. We will need to get ways to cut jobs. Of course, we're going to need to try and make our business smaller, make everything tidier. And of course, in the end of the day, it's going to have an impact on the whole town because we're not going to spend money freely like we used to do. We're cutting everything down, putting people under pressure, impacting people. And most of all, the workers, our kids, their kids. How do you explain to a kid that, guys, I don't have a job anymore. How will I feed you? That's the major problem. And that is what causes us to try and fight, try and stand up and see what difference can we do.
In your international story, leader of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Saidi Ali Khamenei, has made a donation of more than $950,000 to a charity that focuses on gathering financial support for the release of needy prisoners convicted of unintentional offenses. The non-governmental and non-profit organization launches appeals every year during the holy month of Ramadan to raise funds for the release of prisoners. Reports says the event brings together officials and benevolent donors annually and takes place in the capital Tehran and various cities across the country. Financial indicators ran to the dollar 18 rands 41, the euro 19 rands 67, and the British pound is 23 rands 62 cents. Your weather 30 degrees. A quick reminder of our top story. The KwaZulu-Natal Hawks are seeking help in tracking down an elderly mother and daughter-in-law wanted in a 6 million rand scam case. That's the news. We now cross over to Pietermaritzburg.
Making news in Pietermaritzburg on 105.6 FM. The Northern Residents Association and ratepayers are planning a protest outside City Hall to address the ongoing lack of service delivery, in particular, the lack of refuse collection. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. I'm Juwaria Ahmed. The Northern Residents Association and ratepayers are planning a protest outside City Hall to address the ongoing lack of service delivery, in particular, the lack of refuse collection. Yesterday, NRA members met with the Msunduzi Association of Ratepayers and Civics to discuss ways to hold the city accountable. The groups agreed to follow the necessary procedures to obtain permits for a march to City Hall. MARC Chief Executive Anthony Walthazen said they plan to request a meeting with the newly announced working group to bring all their concerns to attention. Last week, KZN Premier Tami Ntuli announced the formation of his Msunduzi working group, modeled after presidential working group, to help the metro leadership address various challenges. Msunduzi Municipality spokesperson Ntobeko Mkhize said 4 refuse trucks were undergoing repairs and the city teams were working towards completing them and restoring full service. And finally, traffic congestion in Lower Petermarit Street has become so unmanageable that criminals now target both stationary and moving delivery vehicles, swiftly grabbing any goods they can resell and using the busy taxi rank to disappear into the crowd. At night, contact crimes such as assaults and attempted murders escalate. Safe City Pietermaritzburg General Manager Lucas Holthazen